Welcome. Welcome, Nicole and Aminata and Mary. Nice to see you guys. Angie and Nikki are back here for our Monday call. Remember, you guys, we do a weekly call. It's 20 minutes. It doesn't take much out of your day, but it is a great way to start your week. What's going on in the market? What do we need to know? What can we go share with clients? What can we go do a video about? Like, what do we need to understand? And it really puts you in a place of focus for the week. If this becomes a consistent habit, now you have something that anchors your week and starts it off with some information, hopefully some motivation and some good mindset. So we're here for anybody who wants to join in. If you are an eXp Family Tree, you're welcome. And of course, we've got Nikki, who is with Loan Depot, and she is always talking about like just generally across the nation, what's going on in the market. And she's able to service people pretty much throughout the entire country. And if she can't, she knows somebody who can. So obviously, this is for everybody. This isn't just for anybody in one specific state. So we really want to encourage everybody to come. So looks like we've got some people in Minnesota and in Kentucky on the call right now. And of course, I'm in Idaho. So join us if you can. It's my Zoom link. I'll let you in. If you're watching on live stream, go ahead and chat underneath the live stream if you guys have questions, and I'll monitor it so that Angie and Nikki can answer it. Those of you that are live, of course, raise your hand or just interject with any comments or questions because we like this to be interactional. So Angie records this as well and puts it out on her YouTube channel every single week. Angie, why don't you go ahead? Is it just your name on YouTube, or is it a specific YouTube link that you want to post in the chat?
Yeah, I can post it. I'll go ahead and get that in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you chat it, I'll go ahead, copy, paste it, and put it under the live stream too, so that if you guys have missed any of these past ones, you can go back and watch them. All right, ladies, I'm gonna let you take it away.
All right. And Nikki, you're always up first.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be back. Last week I was doing some traveling and things like that, so I was not on last week, but we've had a very interesting week last week and coming into this week as far as interest rates are concerned, and some of the things that have affected the interest rate. First and foremost, you can see on our little chart as a reminder, as these bars, this is the daily turn of interest rates. And as these bars go down on this graph, interest rates will go up in the market. And as they go back up, interest rates will go down in the market. You can see that over last week and into this week, we had some really high interest rates right here. And now we're back into the lower sixes and everything is correcting. So the reason for that is when the CPI or the consumer price index numbers came out, inflation, where are we at with inflation? How much are things costing us? How much is rent costing us in comparison to how much do we feel like we can sell our home for? When those numbers for January came out in February, everyone kind of went into a little panic mode because those numbers were higher than expected. We expected to have the CPI start to lower or inflation start to lower, and that didn't happen. That sent the market into a bit of a tailspin, and those interest rates creep back up as a reaction to that. Well, now that the numbers came out from January into February, everyone says, oh, something's not right here. So they've gone back and they've started to relook at those numbers, and they've targeted the cause of what happened for those numbers to increase a little bit. 1/3 of that CPI number that's made up in there, what the actual percentage of it, 1/3 of the influence on that is housing and how we perceive as consumers renting our house out, and then also what we could sell it for. Well, what happened is in January, when they were asking the phase of homeowners or the phase of people that they talk to, every 6 months about, where they think they can rent their home for and things, they actually gave more weight to single family residence rentals than they did to condos and townhomes. What that did is it falsely skewed the numbers because rents for single family houses are higher than what you can get for condos and townhomes. So when they put more weight on the single family houses, it makes it look like that CPI number increased, makes it look like inflation increased, when in reality, that's not what happened. So there has been some corrective things that have happened, which is why we are seeing the interest rates settle back down and get into those lower sixes, which is we expect to continue to kind of hover around there. Keep in mind the Fed meeting is coming up this week. Those are going to be very important meetings for us to talk through, what they're going to do for the rest of the year. Now, reminder, in December and November of last year, they expected to lower that Fed rate in this meeting in March. January, they said, we're really not ready to do that because of those January numbers. Now, Now that we've had that correction, they're going to be meeting again. We'll see what happens. We're not expecting an interest rate drop, but again, anything's possible. So we will expect them to set the tone for the rest of the year and kind of tell us what's going to happen, i.e. what we can expect the reaction for the mortgage interest rates to be. Quick reminder, the Fed rate does not determine mortgage interest rates. It simply influences what happens from an inflation standpoint and the cost or the value of your dollar. So just keep that in mind as you're talking to clients as well. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that Biden proposed a bill, a new housing tax credit bill that may or may not get some legs under it. So what it is it is a $5,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers who fall within the area median income for where they're purchasing. It's $5,000 the year that they purchase the home and $5,000 the year after they purchase the home. Now, keep in mind, this is not a tax deduction. This is a tax credit. So a dollar for a dollar reduction on the amount of taxes that homeowners are going to have to pay on income tax when they file their taxes. So it could be really great for first-time home buyers to be able to have those credits available to them. The actual realized credit, again, not be realized until they file their taxes, but it could be something that helps, kind of drive them into saying, you know what, maybe now is the right time to purchase. So when we talk about that, the one question that Biden had to answer, the administration had to answer is, well, yeah, that creates more demand, but what are we going to do about supply? How are we going to help these first-time home buyers find supply for what they are searching for? In order to get these tax credits, they have to have homes to buy. So what the other part of the bill is that they are going to offer a $10,000 tax credit for sellers of what they determine to be starter homes. And starter homes are homes that are at or below the median price for the area that they are selling. It's all determined by Fannie and Freddie. All those numbers are already there. They just say, okay, let's just say in an area where average median prices are $400,000. If you sell your home for $350,000, you're eligible for that credit, regardless of whether that's a first home for you, second home for you, third home. It's considered a starter home. So in other words, encouraging people to sell their homes so that the credit for the first-time home buyers can become effective. So it's really targeting, those first-time home buyers and those potentially starter home sellers that are going to be able to benefit from this. Now, it's very early on that this bill has been proposed. It's one of those things that may or may not get legs under it. It's going to be very difficult to pass it through the Congress just because they are so split. But it is an interesting talking point as we kind of move into this affordable housing and kind of just say, okay, when is this going to take effect? And when do we, is it going to get legs under it? And is it something that's going to happen, before election time or not? So it'll be interesting as kind of that situation unfolds, but keep that in mind, or, as things kind of progress, I will keep you updated on whether or not it becomes a real thing, but it is a good talking point right now to say, okay, this is something that could be coming down the line and kind of help ignite buyers to go back out in the market. Yeah.
If you had to estimate time frame, what would you think or say as far as it's?
Yeah, we'll know more probably by June to kind of say whether this has some validity or legs under it, I should say, just to kind of, see what happens as we kind of go through about half the year and visit the spring market.
Yep. Good. That's okay. That's new.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any questions or anything for Nikki? I know we went through some of the stuff that you had sent to Nikki last week. I didn't know if you wanted to touch base on anything that you had sent for Carrie and I to talk about. Any updates or?
Let me just look quick and see what I sent over. Maybe I can have some comments.
Aminata, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we can get like information about what you just talked about to talk to our buyers.
As far as first-time home or that credit.
Yeah.
So right now it is just a news story and really a speech by Biden that was made that's what he's proposing. I can send a link to the news story about it, or a video that I was reading about it. I'll also be doing a TikTok later today about it that I can send to the group as well, just so we have that information. But yeah, that's it's more of just like a headline right now in a proposed bill we'll have to see what happens from that standpoint. So it's nothing written in stone as of yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow Nikki on TikTok then, and or is that where you mostly do your videos, Nikki?
Yep. So I do TikTok videos. It's mortgages from MN to AZ. That's my name on TikTok. And then I also post them on Facebook and Instagram as well. Instagram is the same handle, mortgages from MM to AZ, and then Facebook is just Nikki Erickson.
Yeah. So check her out, follow her. Let's, because you can take that information, you could share it. You
Mhm.
could then, of course, take her information, do your own video. So those would be ways on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can do a duet.
Yep.
And you can literally be in the video and sharing what Nikki's saying, and that's really helpful. And if you just click on the little share button when you're in TikTok, then you look at the bottom, it will say duet, click on that. And then you can actually basically get yourself in the video, but not have to say anything because you're just basically affirming what Nikki says. And that's a way that helps you to be, just bring different kinds of content to your following too. So.
Yep. And keep in mind when you're on TikTok, the platform is just incredible. It's my favorite platform to record videos and to do a lot of the social media stuff just because it is so user friendly. It is very easy to do. It's very easy to add subtitles, kind of those relevant things that make your videos on Facebook and Instagram able to be seen better. So just keep that in mind. Do some TikTok review if you want to understand like how to quickly do videos and things of that nature. I actually love doing videos in TikTok. I wasn't a huge fan of TikTok in general, but once I started doing videos in there, I was like, hey, this is like 10 times easier than anything I've tried before. So just an encouragement for the week to, do those videos and be consistent with them because you can do them a ton faster with TikTok than you can with any other platform, in my opinion. So. Yes, Carrie agrees.
I love it. Yeah. I like that too. I didn't know that, Carrie. Thank you for sharing that because I was like, how are they doing that? But yeah, Google,
Yeah.
I could have used the Google machine and figured it out, but
yes, well, we can share TikTok updates and hacks on this call too. So it's all about what we're going to do this week, but it makes it really easy. So if Nikki's going out there and she's sharing the information, just make sure you follow her and just do a duet. It takes 2 minutes to do it and you didn't even have to say anything. And now you're bringing value to your clients and they'll remember you. And so these are just easy ways to make sure we follow each other and help each other. So Angie, what do you have for mindset and motivation as we wrap up the call today? Thanks, Nikki, for the information. Good stuff. Glad to hear and see that interest rates are kind of going down again, which is exciting. Make sure you're telling your active buyers because last week they probably saw them spike up. They got nervous. Now we need to go back to them and say, look, they're down in the high sixes. That's good. That is a good interest rate. Is there anything that you want to go see or anything that you've seen? Are you, do we want to have a conversation here? We kind of got to strike while it's hot. Like, this is what we got to do with our buyers. It's not like we're trying to pressure them, but we've got to monitor this for them and make sure that we're educating them because they've got jobs and everything else. They're probably not looking at this on a daily, but that's why we're bringing this information to you so that you can go out there and talk to them.
Yeah, love it. Perfect. Any other questions for Nikki before I jump in? All right. Well, I was thinking about this morning, and what I wanted to talk a little bit about is something that I've been talking to a couple of my elite coaching clients about is really setting yourself up for success. And one of the key things that I think isn't talked about a lot is the evening routines. So we have everyone talking about morning routines and what time do you wake up and you do your cold bath or this and that and gratitude and meditation and all this stuff. But what I've found is a lot of people are kind of missing the boat a little bit on the evening routine. And so what to think about doing, and I always say don't go from like 0 to 100, don't try to implement everything at once, but there's a couple different things that you can do in order to just set yourself up for a really good morning. And some of my clients, what they're doing is even just getting their gym stuff all together in a bag so they can really just get up and grab the bag and getting their pre-workout done or having it all ready to go on the counter so they can just make it. I mean, literally not having to even take anything out of the cupboard. It's just done and there. So I think just if you do something right away in the morning, getting it where you can just get up and go and you don't have to do anything. Because even though you think it only takes 2 minutes or this amount of time, it really can throw your morning off. So that's one thing. And then the other couple things you can do is at the end of the day, do a wins journal, even if you have to think about it or you write it down, or like I have one in my phone because I'm usually, wrapping up my day through my phone and stuff. In your little note section, just where did you win the day? Think about that, and then also where could you have done it differently, or what went a little bit sideways, or what do you want to carry over from today into tomorrow and wrap up. And that's really just to your subconscious is the most open in the morning when you wake up in the like right before you go to sleep. So if you can start giving your subconscious stuff to work on overnight, maybe things to solve, or I wonder where this is going to happen, just come from curiosity. But I encourage you not to be thinking only about what went wrong or going to bed in that space. So that's where I think the wins journal is a really, really good thing. So you can bookend your day with your morning routine, your end routine. Those are just a couple things, but I think that it really, really can make a big difference in how, we get up in the morning and how prepared we are instead of trying to prepare everything the moment you wake up. That's just been something that continues to come up for my clients.
Yeah, I love it. Everybody talks about a morning routine. This is like there's books and books and books written about this, and it's very important, but you can't have a good morning routine if you don't have a good night routine. And that's what most people won't talk about. You're not going to get up earlier if you're going to bed late. If you're, stressed out about all the things you forgot to do, or you're thinking about all the things you have to do tomorrow because you haven't actually taken it out of your brain and put it on paper, you're not going to have a good night's sleep. If you can't, celebrate the wins from the day, and see what you have accomplished, you're not going to be as motivated tomorrow to go to work again. So there's a lot of correlation between the night and the morning routines. And if you read the books, oftentimes they talk about the night routines, but the focus is always the morning. And I think if we can win our evenings, it's going to be easier for us to create a better morning routine. Some people struggle with creating a good morning routine. And the reason why is because they don't have a good evening routine. So it's like we kind of got to start where we have to start first and make it more natural for us then to get up earlier and feel motivated and excited. And so a couple of things, Angie, that I would add to that, because this is a really good topic, is for me, it's dumping things out of your brain before you go home or before you go to bed, whatever's better for you. Some people will do it before they go home, or if you're working from your home office, before you leave the work day. It's also a way for you to actually have some sort of a line between work and life. And that's very important, particularly if you work out of your home a lot, because otherwise everything seems like work all the time and everything's intermingled, and that is not healthy long-term and can lead to a lot of burnout. So it's like an activity that actually solidifies, I'm done for the day, and now I can move on with my life, and I can do it in a space that is A, in gratitude, B, I feel good about what I did accomplish, and C, I know what I have to do tomorrow, so I can just let it go. So when things are swirling around in our mind and we're just trying to remember all the things, it takes up mind share, and it doesn't allow us to actually move away from work, because we're still thinking about work even when we're making dinner or sitting at dinner or whatever we're doing. And so this whole idea of just brain dumping, whether it's at, 5 o'clock before you leave your day or whatever time that is, or whether it's right before you go to bed, it's okay either way. Some people really like to do it before they go to bed. It helps them sleep, and they can they know anticipation that they're going to do it in the evening, so that during that afternoon time frame and dinner time frame, they can let the things go because they know they're going to do something with it later. So our minds are all different. We have to just understand what's going to work for us. Maybe try both and see what feels better for you. But the things that you have to do is what happened well, what did I do well today? What am I grateful for today? There's always something, even if it's not work related, there's always something you can be grateful for. There's always something that you did accomplish. Again, even if it's very small, you've got to celebrate what you did do and what you actually checked off the list and what you did accomplish, what you moved into that maybe was difficult or challenging or stressful, anything like that. It can be personal or professional. This is do all of it. And then what is on my list? What is my intention for tomorrow? And setting that intention also just helps us to get in the right mindset. of what's to come so we can let go and not have to worry and try to remember it in our mind. But remember the gratitude, and then right after the gratitude, what did I accomplish? There's actual scientific evidence that that will make you more motivated for tomorrow. If all you focus on is, I didn't do enough, I forgot to do this, I have to do all these things tomorrow, that is not motivational. That's stressful. Instead, you got to be like, cool, I did this and this today. Awesome. And now tomorrow I'm going to do this and this. And the fact that you actually did accomplish something is what will kind of carry you through with motivation. Oftentimes it's not that obvious. It's not like you're just going to be like, yes, I'm motivated, but it's what your brain is thinking. It's what your subconscious is thinking when you do that, to wake up in more of a motivated state. So I think that's fantastic. Some people then can carry that into the morning, which I'd love to hear your feedback, Angie, on this, but what a lot of people will do is set that intention, the gratitude, what they did well, and they'll read it in the morning when they first wake up. Like, this is what I did yesterday. This is what I was grateful for. This is what went well. And this is what my intention for today is. Now you're set up for, I know what I'm going towards. And then also, waking up with that intention, like, I am going to accomplish this stuff. But then also, gratitude. So this morning I'm grateful for, and then this is my intention for the day. And then, so you have this cycle of, I'm grateful, I'm intended to do this. Now I did this, I'm grateful, I'm proud of myself for this. And now I'm intending to do this. And it's like this really, really cool flow that if you get into it, feeds your subconscious with much positivity and a lot of motivation. So I love that you brought up the connection of that, because I do think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is that they don't know that there's a whole nother part of it. And if you just do the morning, sometimes that isn't really sustainable. So awesome conversation.
Yep. Good.
All right.
Wonderful.
All right, you guys, happy
thanks,
Monday.
Yeah.
See you soon. I'll be here Wednesday with a great training. So hopefully see you there.
Perfect.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.